You plan the intro, right?
No.
We wanted to take a minute to, first of all, say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, liked, commented, all the support. We appreciate it so much. We have gotten some comments, and while we do try to respond in text whenever we see them, we thought we would just take a few minutes to maybe talk about some of the comments that we've gotten so far, and either expand on what we said before in our replies or give the information to people who maybe didn't see the video or the comment in the first place.
Yeah, because some of the questions y'all have asked are like, if y'all want the comment typed out, it'd be like 16 paragraphs long. Like the first question, for example.
So we had two people comment on the Stream Room Tour video. One was Fortnite Grinding Duo, and they said, guys, how do you stop echo in chat when playing the same game? And F2 Bacon said, you don't have any issues with echo or double audio when streaming at the same time. Me and my wife are back to back and it's rough. We gotta lower gain sensitivity and we still hear ourselves.
It takes a lot of practice and playing around with settings to figure out what works best for your setup. The back-to-back setup, that one's going to be a little bit difficult because as you talk, everything in front of you is going to be reverberating the sound back behind you, and then your wife's mic or your mic will be picking it up. So you got to install some sound dampening panels and some bass traps, or if you're able to, switch to a side-by-side, because we don't pick up any reverb off of the walls in either one of our mics. The only times our mics really pick up each other is when one of us gets a little bit too loud.
No!
But that's also why we have our mics really close to our mouth so that we can talk a little bit softer, but they still pick everything up. Play around with your noise gate, your equalizer is a big thing too, and your attack and release settings.
Something you need to be absolutely sure of when setting up a mic is the pattern of how it picks up sound. So some are cardioid, some are one directional, some are omnidirectional, meaning it'll pick it up from everywhere. Something like a Blue Yeti, which is like a really popular mic, that will just pick up basically everything in your room. You can switch it to a different setting on most of them, but you need to be aware of where the microphone wants the direction of audio to come from. When you know that, you want to, as much as possible, get that only face towards you, not towards the other person. Unfortunately, with our setup, the best case scenario would be to have the mics come from the middle and towards us. That way they're faced completely away from the other person. It's just not possible without completely taking up this area of the desk. We do highly recommend something similar to what we have, which is XLR mics and audio interfaces like the Go XLR. They allow you all the access to those settings that Alex was talking about, like your noise gate and compressor and equalizer and all that fun stuff.
If you don't have the $250+ to drop on an XLR mic, cable, and a mixer, the HyperX Quadcast is actually a really good mic that's USB because you can actually adjust how it picks up sound. I think the Quadcast X is somewhere around that $100 to $150 range, and it has everything that you need. The software that you can download to run it does allow you to adjust all of your settings and everything, just like you can with an XLR mixer to some extent. You can obviously do more with an XLR mixer, but with that software, it's probably the best that you could get without having to spend a lot of money.
Before we move on to the rest of the comments, I did just want to take a minute to remind you guys, in case you didn't know, that we do have a Discord. That's a great place to talk to us in between video releases, or if you have a question that's not about a video. Both of us have knowledge on different things, and I think both of us will try to help out as much as we possibly can in there. So the Discord's a great place to join, to get to know us better, to ask us questions, or just find some new people to game with. We're always looking for new members of our community, so I just wanted to take a minute to mention that. We had 3 comments that were all pretty similar on the Stream Room video from Louise Valentine. To be honest, the 2 side-by-side desktops sticking to each other with heat drawing out and in side-by-side is going to cause problems later, and not to mention both desktop at the bottom, I don't know. Free speech, I wouldn't put the rigs right next to each other, that's for sure. Why not have each right side so the fans have clean air? And Mr. Azimadam setup feels too crowded. I think we mentioned in the stream room video that this is obviously not necessarily ideal. We're working with the room that we have, and this is the setup that works best in this space.
Heat's really not an issue because the way I set up the fans in both of the PCs. Both systems are on a negative pressure. They both have intake fans in the front, and then the fans on the top and on the rear are all exhaust. They're not actually intaking hot air from each other because they're not exhausting anywhere near the intakes at all. I have a 13900K in my computer, and that is one of the hottest, most power demanding CPUs on the market right now. And I've never once broken 90 degrees, even running a Cinebench R23 stress test for a 20 or 30 minute loop. If y'all know anything about the stress test with Cinebench, that's more than that CPU will ever do on a normal daily load, even during a heavy gaming session while running streaming software and OBS and whatnot. Heat's not a concern.
You should subscribe and wait for maybe a year to 2 years, and hopefully we'll be in a much bigger place and we'll be able to really make things the way that we actually want them. But thank you for your comments. Harb's Cantina said, I love that desktop background. Where did you get it from and what's its name? So pretty much anytime if you see our desktop backgrounds in videos, pictures, whatever, we got them from Wallpaper Engine. It's I think $2 or $3 on Steam.
Something like that.
To buy Wallpaper Engine, and basically for what we have, we just type in cyberpunk and look for some kind of cityscape from it.
I have a handful that I alternate through, and they're all called either Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk 2077, or Cyberpunk City.
If you follow me on TikTok, which you should if you're not, I do occasionally do random Wallpaper Engine videos where I choose like 6 along some theme and show them off. If you need the names of them, always just leave a comment. Silence 8881 said, what are the specs on the PC?
Too expensive. Next question.
Not what you were supposed to say.
No, so my PC is a Intel rig. The CPU is the Intel 13900K. I have 128 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance DDR5. I have a NVIDIA RTX 4080 because at the time of purchase, it was before 4090 started dropping in price, and I'm a little bit upset because what I paid for my 4080, I could actually get a 4090 now since everything started to drop.
I'm pretty sure there's an entire video, and I'll put it like right here.
Right here.
Yeah, I'll just cover his
just
face,
right here.
explaining exactly what went into his PC, except for a couple changes that happened after the fact, which he talked about in the PC deep clean video if you want to go watch that one. As far as my computer goes, the reason we haven't done any kind of like real video on the specs is because this is like an in-between PC build. When I moved here, I have what we like to refer to as like the 1900s computer, and it's only because the case is like literally from 2009. It was the best for airflow back in the day. It's a HAF. If anybody knows anything about 2000s computer cases, they were very big. Very big, actually.
Yeah, it's got 2 180 mils fans on it.
It is now currently our NAS computer in the living room, but that will be changed out shortly to a smaller case, and then I think I might unfortunately have to say goodbye to the case I've had for over 10 years now. But as far as specs on my PC, I'll pop up. I have like a list of them. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I am an AMD person. Team Red over here.
Sorry.
Which is probably why he doesn't want our computers touching. Hopefully, within the next couple years, along with moving to a new place, I will be able to build the actual build that I want to do. Also on the stream room video, Mega Mastiff Man says, dudes, I have 3 bins with cables, Nokia flip phone chargers. It's a black hole of cables, but has saved the day many times. So I will tell you, I love to keep the cables, but it's normally whatever cable I need, we don't have, and whatever's in there, we don't actually need. I just want to read that comment because it made me laugh.
Hey, no, I mean, we have bins of extra cables too, and now we are ensuring to double check all of the boxes before we toss them out.
And then just a quick, I just wanted to shout out these people because your comments honestly just made my day. I'll pop them all up on the screen, but I just wanted to say thank you to Green Gavin or Gabant, and sorry if I say anybody's username wrong. The original Battler, Anna WW8YC, Kit Life, Jasassine, I think is how you say it, and Don't Finish Last Gaming, Kickin' Ass 100, and user QY1PT8JE1B.
User QYPT whatever.
You the best.
Just come up with your own username, bro.
Oh, being the people. But no, all of you guys left very nice comments about the setup. I appreciated it very much. We love that you guys enjoyed the video. On to comments on the Temu video from Digital Phoenix 72. After moderately studying cybersecurity, I can't get over my gut feeling to not plug any electronics by USB, especially if they're phones, computers, or boards with certain radios in them. So thank you for doing it for us. I kind of had a feeling ordering from them was how you guys experienced it. The old, if it seems too good idiom. And I have to tell you, every single time we get something that's like Temu, Wish, or even just one of those kind of fishy Amazon products that you're like, this was a little too cheap to actually be legit, I get terrified to plug those things in, which is exactly why I tested it on my laptop. Now, I do love my laptop very much and would hate for something to happen to it, but I would so much rather deal with an issue on that, which I use maybe a few times a month, rather than this, which I have to turn on and use every single day. Like, it just scares me.
Full send. I actually use really good antivirus software and everything along those lines. I got faith in it.
From RL Days 9179, I think technology is the biggest place you'll have discrepancies as far as what you think you get and what you end up with. Did you try plugging the hard drive back into the original laptop? I'm thinking it synced to that, and that was it maybe. And Nightwolf089 said, I wonder if it actually is a 128 gig SD card and a SATA interface. Both of those were talking about that.
Somnambulist.
The Somnambulist hard drive or SSD drive. This is the hard drive. It did not sync to the laptop. Folks, it's happening live.
If you're gonna do this at your house, don't use your trusty Benchmade pry tool. Use an actual pry tool. No, this is actually a M.2 SATA storage. It's not a flash chip inside of a case.
So there you go.
It just doesn't work.
It just sucks. This was another comment that honestly, it just made my day. It made me laugh and I really enjoyed it. From Mobile Decay, I was hoping you were going to buy the coffee pot with 4 cups with 8 cups, coffee pot with plug, coffee pot with water filter, coffee pot with coffee pot, coffee pot, coffee pot, coffee pot, coffee basket, coffee pot. Disappointed. And I think we did a couple of replies back and forth to each other, but thank you for that comment. Totally made my day. If you guys want to see another Temu video, I mean, I really hate to support the company, but I think it's always a good time. Honestly, what we wanted to do with that video was just be completely honest with our reviews. We weren't trying to be too picky. We were just honestly trying to tell people, don't buy this junk. Like, we wasted $100 to buy the junk to show you it's junk, basically. We just had a couple comments on individual videos that I wanted to talk about. On Alex's PC build from Paul Blart Gaming, you fell for the classic blunder. You forgot to replace the CPU contact frame for better thermals. Computer looks great other than that. I look forward to seeing what upgrades you do.
So CPU contact frame really isn't needed for what I'm doing. As I said earlier, I'm not running into any thermal issues or anything along those lines. While the contact frame does help ensure that the cold plate on the AIO does make full contact and the CPU doesn't bow or anything like that, it's really not needed. I'm not thermal spiking. Now, if I move into overclocking, absolutely, I'm gonna get it.
We had a quick short that came out that was like just a clip from one of our streams, and I was talking about if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Atheon4901 said, find a bridge. I've been thinking about this for like 2 months now, and I still don't think that's a better name for peanut butter, so.
Nobody wants a find a bridge and jelly sandwich. That's just too much to say. Yeah.
And finally, on the Judge Judy and Aphantasia, it was a stream edit that we put out. Mangu004 said, where do you stream? Been going through your links and I can't find them. So we thought this would be the perfect time to make sure everybody does know we are not currently streaming on Twitch anymore. We stream here exclusively on YouTube. We try to stream every Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you hit the bell icon, it should pop up and tell you when we go live. So make sure you do that if you want to catch us. We usually stream for a couple hours. Ash and Billy are normally there. We just try to have a good time.
Like, comment, subscribe, keep your notifications on, and we'll see y'all in our streams.
Okay, love you. Bye.